How do you feel about the narrative that No Jumper is failing or going down the drain? Because it's like a whispering narrative, but it's in there.
I mean, there's a lot of different ways that people will judge how you're doing as a business. And the thing about that is that, like I just explained, having, you know, a bunch of different live podcasts on the channel is costing me a lot of money. So that doesn't really like bother me that much, because in the reality is that, like, why am I a fucking grown man, almost 40, and I'm kind of like judging myself too much on metrics that don't really matter, like the fact, like how many live viewers we have or whatever. It's like, you know, and like even taking this show and putting it as a pre-recorded thing instead of like doing it live, it's like, what, like do I really have so much of my ego wrapped up in the numbers that I'm willing to put that before like the business, the money and the happiness? Because the business and my own happiness / the people around me's happiness seems like a way better thing for me to be sort of judging it on. So I mean, yeah, like obviously No Jumper to a certain extent has kind of fallen apart over the past couple of weeks, you know, like that's just reality, is that the house phone thing happened and then all this shit happened and we don't even know what the fuck is going to happen Wednesday or whatever. But I mean, that doesn't really bother me that much, just because like everything else with the business is doing so well. And the reality is that I could just take time off. Like I could take fucking time off and just do whatever. And like, you know, like I don't want to do that, but I mean, I'm chilling, you know?
I mean, if you're doing 500,000 views a day off a catalog, you know?
And that's like that. Like I have all kinds of other income streams at this point. So it's like realistically, I could take my sweet ass time in terms of figuring out what's going on with building shit on here. But I also feel like, you know, it's just not that big a deal. Like it's like even people saying it's falling apart. We're talking about like a couple different live streams a week that will get like 100, 150,000 views and then earn a very small amount of money in comparison to the amount of money we're investing in it. And nobody wants to hear that, but that's the reality of it, is that it's like we lose money on this shit. We do that because it makes the channel look good, and then that maybe attracts more
sponsors.
You know, I mean, has that ever happened? I don't fucking know. Did we get more sponsors as a result of the fact that we have all this crazy shit going on the channel? I doubt it.
It's like, yo, Almighty Suspect fucked up that little pimp kid.
Yeah.
Here's a bag. We'd like to sponsor that.
Yeah.
Maybe Scumbags would, you know?
Scumbags is probably pretty on board with that sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just shout out to Scumbags.
Yeah, I didn't even use condoms until I started getting them for free, so.
Oh, that is definitely a condom bag.
You thought that
I
was
see what
some
they
weed?
did.
Condom
There's
style.
weed inside. I see what they did there. Okay.
Geniuses of marketing. Can they see that? It might be so on the table that they can't see it, but shout out to Scumbags.
Yeah.
Ultra thin.
Is there weed in here or a leaf?
Weed, yeah.
Okay.
We might not have
weed.
We might not have filled we filled those.
Oh, you filled them. Okay.
So we might not have put as much as they would have put.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Let's say this weed feels like paper.